Hello everyone. Usually when we read stories about ambitious young people dreaming of fame, we expect a happy ending, right? We expect them to get rich and famous. Edith Wharton's short story, April Showers, seems like one of these stories first. It follows a 17-year-old girl named Theodora Dace, who thinks she has become a famous writer overnight. But then, the story takes away her success. Because of this sad twist, many readers ask, does April Showers actually have a happy ending? My thesis is that even though the story does not give Theodora money and fame, it gives her a better, more real, happy ending. By using the literary concept of realism, Wharton destroys Theodora's fake dreams to help her connect with her family through true empathy. In this video essay, we will look at how Wharton rescues her protagonist from a life of fantasy. To understand the ending, we first have to understand Theodora's fantasy. She's obsessed with her novel. She writes dramatic lines like, "But Guy's heart slept under the violets on Muriel's grave," it says in line 1. She cares more about this fake world than her real life. This leads to the conflict. Because she's daydreaming, she forgets her real duties. She forgets to sew John's buttons and neglects her sick mother. She thinks her real father is boring because he could never be counted on to behave like a father in a book. This is where realism enters. Realism is a style of writing that shows life as it actually is, focusing on ordinary people and honest, sometimes harsh details. Wharton uses realism to show that Theodora is living in a dream. Story reminds us that in real life, family duties are more important than romantic daydreams. The most important part of the story is when Theodora finds out her book was not actually accepted. It was a clerical mistake by the magazine. This is the harsh light of reality. When she goes to the office in Boston, she finds a cold business world, not a magical work of art. The editor tells her the letter was just an extraordinary coincidence. The description of this moment is very painful. Wharton writes that the editor's voice was like steady pressure of a surgeon's hand on a shrinking nerve, it says in line 240. Think about that. It feels like a doctor touching an open wound. Her dream of being a famous author is killed. When she leaves, her manuscript looks dirty and has soiled edges. In a romantic story, she will find a way to succeed. In a realistic story, she simply loses. This is not a happy moment in a traditional sense. So, if she fails, why is the ending considered good? It's because of her father, Dr. Dace. He meets her at the station in the dark. At first, she expects him to laugh at her, but instead, she shares a secret. "I wanted to be a genius, so I wrote a novel. And the public wouldn't have it either," it says in line 284. This is the most important moment. Theodora realizes her practical, tired father had the exact same dreams she did. He isn't telling her to try again tomorrow. He is welcoming her back to her ordinary life of mending and combing. He's sharing the pain of failure. She clings him in a mute passion of commiseration. Wharton describes his hand as a live hand catching a drowning creature, it says in 986. This is a very realistic kind of love. It is the comfort of two people who both failed at their dreams, but now have each other. In conclusion, April Showers does not have a perfect happy ending, but it has an honest one. Theodora loses her fake fame, but she wins a real relationship with her father. Through realism, Edith Wharton shows us that life is not a fairy tale. The best thing in life is having someone who loves you when your dreams break. Theodora loses her book, but she finds her father, and that is the truest happy ending she could ever ask for. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.